Hello everyone, and welcome to another review. Today I have a review for you of a fragrance that technically is not released. It is available in Canada. It is not available in the United States, but it is soon to be available online. I believe in the US it will be available sometime in October. But it is Thierry Mugler's Pure Leather or Pure Cuir. Here is the bottle and presentation. It looks just like the other Angelman bottles. The only difference is it has a little bit of groove on the bottle. Yeah, you can see it right there. Groove on the bottle and a black star for it. And the box, pretty standard. You know, I'm not going to really dive into the box or anything like that. But one thing to note is if you see a picture of it on the back, that's not accurate. This is what the actual bottle looks like. And what happened when I actually opened this bottle for the very first time was I took a look at it and thought, okay, this doesn't look like, you know, this. I took a spray of it and smelled it and immediately thought, what the, they sent me Angelman. And so I ran over to my wine cooler that I keep my fragrances in, popped it open, saw that, popped it open, sprayed my other hand and figured, oh, it isn't actually Angelman. It just smells very similar to it. So had a little bit of a scare. Actually contacted some other people who I know had it at that point and confirmed that this was actually the bottle. If they do change it to look like this specifically, great, but you know, other than that, it's this bottle with a black star. Now, this fragrance will be available for, I believe, around $88, specifically online, and it's only available in one size, which is 100 milliliters. So, let's get on to the notes for this fragrance. The top notes consist of bergamot, helionia, lavender, peppermint. The mid consists of coffee bean, tar, patchouli, and leather. And the base consists of tonka bean, vanilla, caramel, chocolate, and musk. Now, those notes specifically kind of mixed in together, they're the exact same notes as Angelman. The story behind this is apparently they took this and dumped it, they took the original Angelman formulation, shown here, and literally dumped it in a vat of leather. Some people say, I think I saw a fragrance poster said they threw leather strips in there, or put it in a leather casket, as I've seen on some press releases, but either way, they tried to mix in leather into this formula, which does explain why it smells so freaking close to Angelman. But that is the reason, and that's why the notes are practically the same for it. But what you get from this smell, now, it smells, I'm going to kind of do this review into two, I'm going to divide it into two stages, basically. One stage where I basically describe what the scent itself smells like on its own, and compare it to Angelman, because that is the fragrance that it is the most close to. It is sort of close to pure coffee, this bad boy right here, but it's not exactly the same. Pure coffee is a lot weaker than this. It's definitely close to Angelman, and that's where I'll be doing some comparisons so you can kind of get a better feeling off of it. So I'm going to describe it by itself for those of you who have never tried either one of them, and for giving it to a comparison for those of you who have or have tried Angelman. So what you're going to get right off the bat is the fact that it's sweet. It smells like food. You get a lot of chocolate, you get a lot of vanilla, you get a lot of caramel in it. The mint, you get a little bit of a mintish feeling that kind of comes into it. I personally got mint from Angelman as well, so in this it's a little bit more pronounced from it. But I also get coffee and coffee bean from it, definitely from it. Now, compared to the original, when you first spray and apply this, what you get is a very smoothened out fragrance. Don't get me wrong, the fragrance is still technically rough. The thing that made Angelman such a, I guess you'd say, an aggressive fragrance was very much patchouli and tar, and the way that it was actually used in the original fragrance. It came off as very, very harsh and very upfront, in your face, in your nose, aggressive, right? Now, the tar note in this fragrance, in Pure Cuir, has been tempered down a lot. Same thing with patchouli. Everything is smoothened out on this fragrance. So that harshness that you experience with Angelman, it's very smooth in pure leather. So the leather note in it is really what the leather note in pure Cuir is really what tames it down. And that leather kind of undertone in pure Cuir is really the thing that's kind of driving the fragrance. Now, the leather note itself in pure Cuir is very not what you would expect, and it's not what I expected. It's really one of the aspects that disappointed me with this fragrance. I was expecting, when I thought of leather, like my leather jacket, like wallets, like leather boots. I was not expecting the leather that I came across in this. The leather that I came across in this is very much kind of what they describe, almost like the inside of a leather glove. It almost feels a little bit, I don't want to say sweat, but that animalic quality, that animalic leather that they kind of advertise with this fragrance, that's kind of what I get, almost like the inside of a leather glove after you've been wearing it for a bit. That's kind of the undertone leather. It's not a nasty leather, it's just a very soft leather, a leather that's not really pronounced by itself. I was expecting more of an aggressive leather fragrance. There are a ton of leather fragrances out there that you can really get the leather right off the bat and it dominates the fragrance. That's not what happens in this fragrance. The leather is more of a secondary note. It's more of something that kind of lies underneath rather than being the prominent feature. Again, the tar note, it's there, but it's smoothened out. Now, if I was to compare the two fragrances as far as their progression and as far as they go, pure leather is very linear, and it remains pretty much the same throughout the fragrance until you get to the absolute dry down towards the end of it. We're talking about 8 to 12 hours later, once it really starts to get to a dry down. At that point, the leather kind of goes away and disappears, and you're left with just a slightly musky, sweet, chocolatey, vanilla, caramel type scent, right? Whereas in Angelman, that aggressive front stays with you pretty much throughout the majority of the opening of the fragrance, and then it turns into a very beautiful dry down that smells primarily chocolate, vanilla, patchouli, and I get a little bit of coffee bean actually from the original Angelman. But yes, it dries down into that, but it's heavily dominated by this sickeningly sweet chocolate smell that I actually do like. So that is the kind of a difference, whereas pure leather kind of remains the same throughout and then drops off at the end, whereas Angelman starts out here, then drops down to the middle, and then kind of goes down into its dry down. So Angelman has 3 stages, pure Cuir has more 2 stages to it. All right. So again, definitely linear. It has those 3 different stages, and the dry down, once you're totally done and ended with it, Angelman, you're gonna get chocolate, vanilla, patchouli, and in pure leather, you're gonna get chocolate, caramel, vanilla, leather, and coffee, kind of all mixed in to create a very pleasant smelling fragrance. Now, sprays. I recommend anywhere between 2 and 3 sprays on this. I actually believe that it has mellowed this fragrance out quite a bit. That harshness, again, it's not there. It's not to say that this fragrance has become weak or anything like that, but it definitely doesn't appear or come off as aggressive as it is. And for that reason, you can get away with 2-3 sprays with this. It's still going to be very powerful. That's not to say that, if you spray 2 or 3 sprays, it's all of a sudden going to, have a normal longevity. No, it's still very powerful, still very strong. It's just more manageable. It's just more wearable because it has been tamed with the leather. Now, occasion. I would classify this casual, date, school, if you're in school, high school, college, that type of a fragrance. I would not wear it to work, still would not wear it to work. You can if you want, but, be warned. Season, fall, winter, definitely I would not recommend it for summer or spring. It's still too strong. It's still, way too strong, I believe, for those 2 occasions. Can definitely get cloying, can definitely get sweet. For age group, I would recommend this for any age group. The original Angelman, for some reason, I recommended that only, I think it was like 23 and above or something like that, some number like that. But looking back at it now, I really can see anyone wearing this. It may be because of the aggressiveness that I gave it that mark, but for pure leather at least, definitely any age group can wear this one. For projection and sillage, both very strong in this fragrance. And for longevity, longevity is actually slightly under the original Angel Men, but it's still up there. Original Angel Men last me like 24 hours easily. This fragrance, it's not 24 hours, but still around 15, 16, kind of petered off at that direction. But it's, I mean, come on, 15, 16 hours, that's still fantastic. So projection, it's up there. I'm sorry, longevity, it's up there. Now, I kind of want to show you real quick two people's opinions on what they thought of the fragrance. Here it is.
Hi, I give that a B because it was just a little too sweet for me, but it also wasn't overpowering. You know, nice up close and personal scent. So B overall.
Would you mind it on a guy?
No, I don't think I would. This wasn't my favorite.
Okay.
It's got a very strong caramelly smell. Really, it's very musky. It's strong at first, kind of settles in. It's not bad. I like it.
Rating.
I didn't realize there was
Scale 1 to 10, I'll give it like a 7.
Okay, that happened.
As you can see, pretty decent remarks for it. A B plus and something that I averaged out to a C plus for it. I'm sorry, a B and a C plus for it. So they thought the actual fragrance was great. Now, the other thing that I actually did with this that was noteworthy was I actually went out to Times Square and I sat there with 2 scent strips. I had sprayed it on both hands, Angel Men on one hand and Pure Leather on the other hand, and I gave people sniff tests basically for an hour and got exactly 500 people to actually answer it. For those of you who think that it would take long, no. Times Square is teeming with people. It's constantly teeming with tourists, and so I got a very large sample very quickly. I simply went up to people and asked, hey, what smells better, this or this? How about this or this? And then they simply gave me their answer. Now, by those results, on paper, on the scent strips, 154 people thought Angel Men smelled better, 346 thought Pure Leather smelled better. On skin, 93 people thought Angel Men was better, and 407 people thought Pure Leather was better. So, right off the bat, the majority of people that I saw, or that I asked, thought that Pure Leather was better. And some of the main reasons that they actually came out and said were smooth. It's smoother. The ones that liked Pure, that liked the original Angel Men, thought that it was sweeter. Basically, they thought that it came off. I think it's because of the patchouli that they thought it was sweeter. Maybe it's my skin. Either way, the majority of people thought that Pure Leather smelled better, and I attribute it to it being more manageable. Again, it's smoother. It's still sweet. It's still got almost all of the same DNA as Angel Men. It's just easier to wear. It's just, in my opinion, better composition. Now, with that out of the way, so let's get into the ratings. The ratings that I'm going to give this, I'm actually going to divide that into 2 parts as well to kind of compare it to Angel Men. For scent, I'm going to give Pure Leather a B+. Now, if I was to compare that to Angel Men, I would have given Angel Men a B. I think the scent for Pure Leather is better than Angel Men. I think it is Angel Men done right. Now, yes, let's leave it at that. It is Angel Men done right, in my opinion. The leather really brings it down. Sure, it's not the traditional leather that I was expecting. It's not. It's definitely not what I was expecting, but it still is a very nice fragrance. Projection, I'm still going to give both of them an A+ for projection. Projection is still excellent. Sillage, I'm going to go ahead and give both an A. Sillage, it leaves a very nice scent trail and it leaves a very nice bubble, sticks around. In fact, if you stay in one place, people will know you're there. All right. For uniqueness, here's where Pure Leather suffers. D- for uniqueness. This fragrance is not unique at all simply because it is so close to Angel Men. It's not unique at all. In fact, I felt like giving it an F for uniqueness, but they did combine leather in there. It is so close to Angel Men that if I was to tell and ask people whether or not to buy both, I would highly recommend no. They're too close to each other. Longevity, I give both an A. Both of them, longevity is A. Versatility, I would give Pure Leather a B and Angel Men a C. C, I would, the reason I would give, again, I touched upon that before, Pure leather is simply more versatile. That's really all I can say. It's easier to wear, it's more manageable, it's not as in your face, it's Angelman done right. Compliments, I'm going to give Cuir leather a B. Compliments, it actually got good compliments. Now, the one downfall is I did not obviously get to wear this for more than a week. I've had this for a week straight off, and that's generally how long it takes me to do reviews. I'll wear it 7 times for 1 week exactly, basically, in order to get an opinion on. The other second reason is I really actually do wish I could have worn this in the winter. The one thing that I really thought that really helps Angelman out is wearing it in cold weather, where it seems to just mesh with it perfectly. And I really want to know how well this actually meshes with the cold as opposed to Angelman. I'm really curious. I can't wait to actually find out. Reason why I had to do the review now is I did get this. Oh, wow, I should have disclosed that a lot earlier, but I did get this sent to me to review, basically. So yeah, leave it at that. And the overall rating that I'm actually going to give this scent is a A. I'm going to give this scent an A. I would have given Angelman an A-. The reason why I'm going to actually give this an A is if I had the choice and I had gotten rid of all my Thierry Muglers and were only buying something to buy for the first time, I probably would choose Pure Leather. It's highly likely that this will replace Angelman on my top 10 winter list. Angelman hit my top 10 winter list. This will replace it. I don't see the need to wear both at all. They're just too similar to one another to warrant having both. If you're a collector, I would highly suggest picking it up. If you're curious on the actual leather scent or anything like that, by all means, pick it up. It should be, you know, a worthwhile pickup. But I should forewarn you that it is very, very, very close to Angelman. Again, one test that I actually did was I sprayed somebody else with it. I actually gave a couple of my friends both bottles, said, go ahead, spray yourselves, and I want to figure out which one of you smells like, you know, Pure Leather, Pure Coffee. And when I came up to them, I had a very difficult time. Very, very difficult time. Did I get it right? Yes, but I had a very difficult time. I had to go up and smell their skin. I could not tell, you know, just passing by them, sniffing them in the air, I couldn't tell the difference between the two. But once I got close to their skin, then I could tell the difference. So they both come off very similar. Very, very similar. Now, again, question of should you buy it or not? It's all going to depend on you. I think it's a very quality fragrance. I think it's a great fragrance. I've given it good reviews, but I will understand if people do not, you know, aren't impressed with it. If you don't like Angelman, stay away from this fragrance. Simply put, if you don't like Angelman, you're not going to like this because they're just too similar. If you are a fan of Pure Coffee, actually, as well, you might want to take a look at this. The only thing is, again, this is, while Pure Coffee is a little bit more laid back, this is a little bit more strong. So that pretty much sums it up. If you have any questions whatsoever, please feel free, leave a comment, let me know, do whatever you got to do. Thank you, take care of yourselves, and have a great day.